Hi, my name's Stephanie and this is my channel and welcome to it. I've been posting vlogs for a few weeks now, so I'm starting to build up some subscribers, not a lot, so please like and subscribe and do all that call to action, notification bell and everything that goes with social media. That would be really much appreciated. I wanted to talk about my artwork and why I'm creating my art, because I'm going through a period right now. It's like I'm not happy with where things are at, and it got me thinking, why do I keep recreating, and what was my purpose of doing this? So that's kind of where I want to go with this. I'm going to show you perhaps one of my sketchbooks where I've almost completed one of them, and some of the daily challenges that I've been working through just to keep my process going. I have been creating some other sketches that I won't go show you yet. They are very sketchy, just some thought processes and ideas, but they're a little bit messy. I may show you one or two, and I'm going to go through some larger scale paintings that I have done in the past as well. I think they did those last year, yeah, around this time last year actually. So and give you the inspiration behind those, and yeah, I just kind of wanted to go through that. It comes from an emotional place when I do my work. I'm very into my colour. I love using different vibrant colours, and I guess where I'm coming from with my work, and I'm still trying to find my way and feel my way. I think it's very hard for artists because it's very easy for us to paint pretty pictures. Particularly those who are very established. I used to create really highly detailed work, and now I just the detail. I don't like the detail anymore. I love the work of the Impressionists. I love the work of Pierre Bernard work. I would love to see his work in person. David Hockney is also an inspiration of mine. So that's kind of where, and Van Gogh. So that's kind of where my process comes from. And I did art history years and years ago where this kind of culminated my way of painting, I want to kind of say. And it's sunny today. And it's also my birthday weekend. Yay! Kind of another year older. My birthday treat, I've almost finished this sketchbook. I've been working in this since 2018. I did these little mushrooms with some gouache paint. Well, I don't know, it's when I was living in on the acreage. I kept finding mushrooms all over the place. They didn't look like those, sadly. And I was creating an eagle, then I did this in 2024. Because of one of the animals I'd seen, and I love eagles. I love seeing them soar up in the sky. I saw a couple yesterday. There's an ivy plant pot that I have, and I was playing with gouache and acrylics and experimenting with this paper. Yeah, I don't know where I got this book from. I think it may have been from the bookstore, I don't know. I actually don't like the colour of this paper. I do not like how it works with the paints. Personally, for me, I know a lot of people do like using it, but I don't. I was kind of doing a self-portrait. This is when I was in my heavy fitness phase, just before I had to stop because of an injury. I was playing with shadows. This is a shadow that was on the glass table. And I just liked how the pattern formed. And this just reminded me of a ski trip, really quite abstract, quite like it. Then a massive manifestation and abundance and being happy and so on and so forth. And these were playing with my Caran d'Ache crayons, or pastels that they call them. Some mountains and trees, and it's kind of a scene from Whistler. And then this was of an owl. I don't particularly like this owl face, but it's fun, and it just reminded me of an incident of an owl swooping down trying to catch the dog's ball. Oh, this is when I was at Paddington Station and I saw a fox running through. I had to draw it. It was just casually walking through. It was quite a big size fox as well. This is me just doing some warm up and playing with the Caran d'Ache pastels. Oh, and then I saw a rat following the fox shortly after Paddington Station. It was quite funny on the Paddington Square area outside. And then this is when I was in Whistler and I was having a cocktail. This is of a tree. I painted the background red and I was like, oh, what am I going to do on that? And then I painted the tree. I quite like how that came out. Teapot, and a bit of a still life. Playing with colour and how colour works with the forefront and the foreground. I think it's Arthur Stern who created a book. And this is me doing some work on David Hockney and where his inspirations come from. So it starts off with a tree and where his inspiration comes from. So Cassie, and then where Cassie's inspiration comes from, and so on and so forth. It was quite a fun exercise. I need to deal with this, and then I had to look into who inspires me. I was just practicing different types of composition because my composition is not where it should be. Then I started doing colour wheels. I really enjoyed doing these, quite therapeutic actually. And decided to do a still life in my teapot, so I did that one. And then I did that one in a different colour, it's actually this colour, but I decided to do it in pink. I don't like the pink one as much. So this is the colour wheel that I did for this. And this was a painting of a fox that looked more like a dog. And it was from a dream I had. Again, colour wheel and cookies and tea, or biscuits and tea. And I was doing some Opus daily challenges. I just playing with colour. That one I quite like these ones. I've done these ones before. Again, playing with different colours, colour mixes. I had some paint left over when I was doing the colour wheel, so I thought I'd actually use this and see what it looked like when I put it together. Playing with the crayon. I would do these 60-second face portraits because I wanted it to be a bit more abstract. Not abstract. Yeah, abstract. So I thought they came out quite well actually. It was from can't remember. There's a YouTube channel that I watched that was doing this. Really good one as well. I'll try and find it and list it. This was just trying to remember what spring looks like. And this is what happens when your acrylics paint stick. I had to do something of a prompt for shadows, so I used this colour palette and I put this together. Move the shadows. I sometimes will write in my books for books that I should look into. If I find somebody on YouTube who's listening to their books and it's like, oh, I like that one, so I'll put that on there. This is generation portrait, so I was playing with charcoal. The camera thing there, strap. So it's quite loose and abstract for me, and I just wanted to play with a few limited colour palettes. And I decided I am going to be obsessed with trees. There was actually a reason for this, but I really love how this came out. I really love it. Okay. I don't know, I was just playing with colour. I was looking at fire, but this didn't work out how I wanted it to, but I quite like it anyway. I just like the colours. That's the fire that came out, so we're just playing with these limited colour palettes. And I was doing something on movement, and horses came to mind, since I used to work in the horse racing industry. And a quick landscape painting. And that's people. Oh no. I've really just charged it. Oh. And this is of Gladstone pottery, which I used to visit because it's not far from where I used to live. So I used to go there for school trips, and they do the pottery show. I think it's called the Pottery Showdown or something along those lines. So I think they did it at oh gosh, Middleport, I think, was the original place, and now they're doing it at Gladstone Pottery. I think they were recording actually when I visited last year, because I saw all the vans outside. Just a fun little painting using multiple palettes, art by Steph Matt. If you didn't know, that's my Instagram handle. Oh, and then I just kind of wanted to use this colour, so I made this imaginary tree. And then raindrops. I was reading a Hockney book, and it was talking about the photographer that photographed in slow motion how raindrops fall, and so I liked it because it was kind of a crown formation, so I recreated that. Oh, this is of a canal boat. I used to go cruising on the canals. Back in England, I used to love it because it was so slow paced. You could see all the wildlife and the swans and farm animals and so on. So yeah, that's pretty much my sketchbook. I won't get this one again. I've got it down as 2018 to 2024. It used to say 2025, but I still haven't finished it. Don't know. There you go. I had to add that on there a few days ago. I used Posca pens to create the landscape front, and yeah, and this is my messy desk. I don't know how I got my desk so messy. Oh, I tell you, if I had an art studio, it'd be the messiest place of all. It'd be organised chaos, but it'd look very messy. I've even got paint on the walls. So, yeah, I think I'm still trying to find my subject matter. I have this kind of passion and drive inside of me. I've had it for a very, very long time. I've been quite an ambitious person from a very early age, because I kind of knew what I wanted in life, so that helped. But it's taken me a long time to kind of get there. I'm still not there yet. So I have this internal drive and ambition that I have, and but with my artwork, I'm struggling to find something that really suits my personality. I know my style. I know my art history. Or most of it anyway, or at least some of it that very specific to my style. So it's kind of finding my voice and finding, which I've talked about in my last vlog, if you haven't seen that. And it's very much finding what drives me, and I haven't found really what drives me. I go through periods where I love the mountains, and I've done a lot of painting on mountains. I love animals, so I've done painting on animals, and then I go through a stage where I just love doing still life, so I've done still life. So, and artists are very creative people where they can kind of turn their hand to most things and everything, but for some reason we kind of have to focus on, if you want to get known, you kind of focus on one thing, which I think is really a bit strange, because the artist world is just more than one dimensional, is what I want to try and say, I guess. So I guess talking about my emotional process, a lot of my work is driven by emotion. I've dealt with some very traumatic situations in my time that I'm not going to talk about on here, but for me it's emotional anyway. Maybe for you, it wouldn't impact you in the same way that it impacted me, because we're all very different. But you never know until you're in that situation how you're going to react. Which was one of my learning lessons, and I learned from that I manage and deal with things a lot differently than I thought I was going to deal with them. And so that's kind of interesting. And I always find when I'm going through a very difficult time or a stressful period, and it doesn't matter what it is, it could be work-life balance, it could be something that's happened, you know, so I always find that I always come back to my painting. It's always painting, it's not drawing, it's painting that I always come back to. I do like drawing, and if I do draw, it tends to be with water-soluble crayons, because I like to then dip my brush into water and then start painting it. It's the painting of it that I really, really enjoy. I find it very calming, perhaps is the best explanation for it, for my brain. I never really thought about it before until now. So I picked up some art history books, which includes Bernard, wherever he is. He's my favourite artist. I just love the colour use. He's just amazing, amazing colour use. It's not necessarily subject matter, it's the way he uses colour. Then, oh my gosh, where was I? I keep getting interrupted in phone calls and stuff. It's my birthday weekend a week. So I keep getting lots of messages, it's great. Anyway, I was talking about this book, which is by Emily Powell, and see what I mean with my phone, and Sarah Moore, his sister. And this is a great book. It's got tons of exercises in here. It's very colourful, it's very vibrant, and I love this. There's a lot of energy, and it gives me a lot of energy, as you can tell. And it inspired me to do different styles of creating and kind of loosen up my brush strokes. So, and talk about the emotion and what it is that you want to deliver in your messaging. And sometimes it's just an emotional outlet and just a bit of scribble and scroll, like this one. Now orange I find a highly aggressive colour for my person. I prefer red. I love the colour red, but orange just makes me kind of, this is my angry colour. So when I was painting this, orange and black or orange and blue, when it's kind of this kind of strength and vibrancy, this is kind of, I was not in a great headspace here. I think I was angry about something, or annoyed, or frustrated. It's usually frustration with me. I don't really get very angry. Often I get kind of frustrated for situations. But anyway, this one was a bit more joyful and colourful and a bit more about nature. And I love nature, I love being out in nature. And you can tell by the colours it's a bit more vibrant. I was trying to be more strong with my colours, because Emily is really wonderfully powerful with her colours. It's just such strength and brightness and vibrancy, and it's just like I say, it's a lot of energy, and I love it. This one I was trying to do something monochrome, and just kind of mentioned that Emily kind of says, you know, split up your paper into square pieces, and that's what I did. So I just taped this off so that I had lots of different square patches, and I really like this. It's very simple, it's very dynamic, it's very loose. And sometimes when I don't have a lot of time, I love to create something with just a few simple colours. So looking at this one, I actually do know which way this goes up. I've got a bit of gold foil in here and a limited palette again. I really like the colours of this. The mountains, some hares that I've done, horses, and some flowers, and just playing with the different mixed medias. I actually really like how this came out. Sometimes when I see a piece of work, I was like, oh, I just don't like that at all. I think that was one of them. I just thought, oh, it's a bit too, I don't know, loose and too, how do I say it? It just a bit immature, I want to say, but actually I really like it now. This one, I don't know what I was doing here. I think I was trying something new. I don't think I was in the frame of mind. I can tell because my colours weren't very vibrant, and I was clearly not mixing my colours properly, and they became a bit muddy, but that's okay. And I was playing with charcoal and different mediums again, just practicing. It's really great to practice with these kind of big sheets of paper and just kind of be loose and playful. And then I kind of was started to create on I wanted to create bigger, but not on canvases, because canvases take up a lot of space, and if I'm not happy with the canvas, I will either throw it away, repaint it, or get to the point where I do have to actually throw it away when it's got about 10 different paintings underneath. So I thought, if I don't like something on paper, it's not going to be a problem to store it or get rid of it. So this is one of my flamingo paintings, and I just love the colours and the intensity. And with these paintings and these size paintings, I'm just playing with colour a lot. And I really like the colour combination of this. Don't mind the composition. I still need to work on composition. That's one of my weak areas right now. And I've recently kind of trying to get my head around it, and I think I'm getting there. So that's a lot of sketching that's going on right now, where I'm trying to establish composition and find the sort of composition that I actually enjoy painting. Because yeah, it's it can make or break a piece of work. And then another one that I did, and I absolutely love the colours. I love the corals of this. I just love it. It's just so, I don't know, it's pretty and calming. I always find flamingos are quite romantic looking because the way they arch the neck, a bit like the way the swans do it. And these huge beaks that they've got, but yeah, I really like this one. I think it was summery, or it's coming into, no, it was in March I did that one, so it was almost a year ago. And so I guess I was thinking about summer. And this one is from a photograph I took, and this is of Daddy and daughter playing with their inflatable toys on the beach. It's a happy memory for me. And then I think one day, I don't know what was going on, I think it was really had high energy, and I wanted to create something really vibrant, and I was watching Top Gun at the time, because it's my favourite, and I created zebras. Now I do have a family member who actually films documentaries, and he goes on safaris, and he gets to be close to the wildlife. Some of his stories are wonderful, and then some of them is just about wildlife being wildlife, and yeah, hyenas and things being eaten, yeah. But anyway, I'm trying to portray a happy picture here rather than something being eaten. And then this is something that I did with loose and goosey, and I just really like this. Like I say, it's joyful, playful, colourful art, and that's what I did. So again, I taped it up, sectioned it, painted all the different colours on the background, and then just got some different crayons. I think I used crayons and oils and pen to play with and create with this one. So that was very much a playful one, and I keep these because, not that I'm going to sell those square ones because they're actually my sketches, but I keep them because it actually tells me what sort of mood I was in when I'm creating, because my colour palette changes depending on what mood I'm in. So as you can see, the vibrant one's very high energy, and even the orange one is high energy, but it's different. The painting thicker, and it's bolder, and it's more aggressive, I would say, actually. So yeah, it kind of gives you an idea of where my mind's at when I'm painting, but I'm still trying to find my voice. I'm still trying to work out what it is I'm trying to convey in my paintings, because it's very easy to copy other artists, and that's great for learning purposes, but when you're trying to find your way in your creative process, you've got to kind of establish it, and that takes time. It takes a lot of time. You have to study art history as well. So, you know, Bernard is one of my favourite. I'll absolutely love his colours. I'd love to go see his work. I think he is exhibited, must be exhibited in one of the museums in France, so maybe in the next few years I'll get to go to Paris and see his work in real life, which would be lovely. I have seen some of Van Gogh's work. I would actually like to see more of his work. I'd love to see David Hockney exhibition. He's highly inspirational for me. I love the way he talks about art, and I'm actually reading one of his books right now. I think it's called Spring Can't Be Cancelled. something along those lines, when he was spending time in Normandy. So, and his landscapes I'm really interested in seeing. And I think it was in the Tate Gallery, I want to say, it was some years ago. I was actually in London at that time, and I missed out on it. I just missed out on it, so I was really upset that I missed out on it. Battery's running low again. Sorry, I keep being interrupted. I've got people coming and going at the moment. Anyway, this is one of the books by David Hockney, Spring Cannot Be Cancelled. It's a great book. It's like he's being interviewed by the author, and his thought process on his work and other artists. And then this is Pierre Bonnard. Absolutely love. Even love the cover of this book. So he's another artist that inspires me. So I think I'm going to wrap this up.